Welcome back, everyone. Another win for United at home. 1-0 Manchester United versus Aston Villa. Let's review that one, right? Pre-game, I was very nervous because we needed to win this game. Villa are a good team. I mentioned it in my last video. Villa are a great team. You know, they've been doing excellently under Unai Emery, Mr. Good Evening himself. And I just wanted to win it, so badly, just to get that top four consolidated. And we did a good job. We played really, really well in that first half. I really enjoyed watching us. But Villa were pressing quite high, and they were quite on us. They were trying to do the pressing thing that everybody's been doing lately to try and get us, under pressure a little bit. But we dealt with it, and we were playing a lot of long balls over the top to try and try and beat their high press, I guess, and their high line. Excuse me. And yeah, I think we handled them well. Let's go back to the start of the game though, right? Let's go back to pre-game, properly. Looking at the game, I was looking at the starting lineup, and I think a lot of us were shocked because there was a little bit of rotation. We had first of all, positively, we had Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw still as a centre back pairing, but then Dalot had moved to right back, Malacia had come in, Wan-Bissaka's dropped out, and you're thinking, Malacia. I didn't really like his performance in the last game when he came on against Tottenham. And then also, I'm a big fan of Wan-Bissaka. He's been playing well. But obviously, I guess Ten Hag is trying to do a bit of rotation, spread the load out across the team, make sure that we've got some very important games. These final games that we've got in the season now, we need to make sure we get that top four because we don't have the fallback of Europa League. But anyway, so midfield was of Casemiro, Eriksen, and Sabitzer, which means Bruno was moved to the right again. Anthony dropped out of the team. Rashford and Sancho made up the rest of the team. And obviously, like I said, when I was looking at that, I was a bit like, I like Anthony on the. I don't really like Bruno on the right because I've just never been a fan of it. I feel like he needs to be a bit further back. Create a bit more. That kind of stuff. But Bruno's excellent, and also Anthony gives us a lot defensively on that right hand side. But Bruno also does that, but in a different way. Bruno cuts the passing lanes. He stops people from passing down certain sides. I guess that's what cut the passing lanes is. Whereas Anthony, I guess, has the work rate to run back. But at the same time, Bruno also does that. So I guess Ten Hag probably likes him on that right. Those are probably some of the reasons that Ten Hag likes Bruno on the right hand side. And I guess it gives us a bit more control. More midfield players on the pitch. I guess that can have more creativity and that kind of stuff. So anyway, so looking at that starting lineup, I was a bit like, let's hope this can get through because, like I said, I am very impressed by how Emery has revolutionized or transformed, rather not revolutionized, transformed Aston Villa since Gerrard, since he took over from Gerrard. But yeah, we handled them really well. Like I said, they were playing that high line in the first half. We were playing a lot of balls over the top. Tried to exploit that kind of high line that they're playing. Rashford had a few good chances, a few through runs in behind. Sancho was really dominating, maybe not dominating, but he was giving them problems on the left hand side. Bruno was doing Bruno things. Bruno was excellent today. I've always been a big fan of Bruno, but I'm more and more I just love the guy. He's just given us so much. He's absolutely amazing, especially now near the end of the season. I mentioned this a lot, but it's so important these last few games to just get over the line and finish well, really. But yeah, Bruno, absolutely sublime. And I think what you can realize from us as a team is we enjoy playing at home, right? We come with a different energy when we're playing at home compared to our away games. When you consider the capitulation against Tottenham, and which should never happen, really. We should have been able to see that game out. But this game, when we got 1-0, I think 39 minutes or 40 minutes, Bruno gets that goal. We get, once again, it was kind of, we're trying to exploit the high line again. Rashford breaks in behind. He runs forward, and his shot was actually a bit tame, I thought. But then it was a good shot because he went across the keeper. Keeper played it out. Bruno gambled, and he got the rebound. And yeah, you're thinking, okay, cool. Are we going to come out now? First half, we've won it 1-0. Are we going to come out second half and do what we did against Tottenham, or are we going to have that home form kind of, home form mentality, I guess? And it was the latter. We really showed that at home, Old Trafford is a fortress, and we've made it that way this season under Ten Hag. And it's impressive because even in the second half, we weren't maybe as good as we were the first half, but Bruno, was excellent still. The defense was solid. When you think about Ollie Watkins is on fire at the moment, right? He's on form. Even I think it's Alex Moreno, he had a couple chances actually, or a good chance in the second half. And there were some chances they could have scored. Lindelof made some really good, one really good goal line clearance. I can't remember exactly what minute it was, but also right at the end of the game as well. Villa swung a ball into the box, and Lindelof was the one that headed it out. So just to kind of touch on those guys, right? The defense was excellent, absolutely excellent. And you think, fair enough, Maguire came on near the end of the game. He contributed because, I guess we needed, bodies on line. We needed people to kind of put themselves out there. And I saw post-game that actually he was not 100% as well. Bruno's not 100%. He's got a bit of a knock. But also Maguire apparently is carrying a bit of, we know last game he was out, apparently injured. And clearly he must have been unfit or injured because, I think both Bruno and Ten Hag said that, he actually was, big props to Maguire for coming and playing with actually carrying a knock. So, big up to him and big up to the team because they are doing a great job. Well, they did a great job today because that Tottenham result is still annoying. And obviously Sevilla, but the Tottenham one is the one that's most recent that we should have got over the line. But in terms of this game, they did a job and they did what they needed to do in terms of keep that 1-0 win. If you're not going to score more goals, which is a problem that we still have of not being clinical enough, because we created chances to get, to really put them to bed. But this is Villa, and Villa are a good team at the moment. So if you're not going to, what's the word? If you're not going to score more goals, then keep that clean sheet. And they did a great job on Watkins, making sure he didn't get really much of a sniff, really. And that's a big shout out to Luke Shaw and Victor Lindelof, because if you think about it, that is a makeshift centre back pairing, but they're doing a great job. You wouldn't know it. You'd think that they've been doing it since. And I think I mentioned on I think player ratings one after the FA Cup final, I was saying how Lindelof basically is playing in that Varane role and he's doing basically the same job in terms of like he's just going about his business quietly, just very smooth with it, in and out of possession. He's just been excellent, I think. And clearly, Ten Hag thinks as well. I guess we will see more when Maguire is fully fit, and maybe even when Varane comes back on half fitness. Is Lindelof going to drop out straight away, or is he going to give him a bit of time, Varane a bit of time to get up to speed? And we don't really have much time anyway. I guess we've only got 6 games left now. Yeah, 6 games in the Prem, and then obviously the 7th one will be the FA Cup final. So yeah, let's see. But long story short, I think that centre back pairing excellent. Right hand side, Dalot, like he never left, and I was kind of worried about not having Wan-Bissaka, but really, if you think about Villa, they don't really have like a tricky winger like like I would say Maximum or Newcastle, or I don't know, Sterling at Chelsea or at Man City back then. They don't have those kind of tricky wingers where we need, or Mitoma for Brighton, where we need Wambi to clamp them down. So yeah, it made sense, I guess, to put Zalo on the right. And Malacia I was worried about because, like I said, he hasn't had the best performances last 2 games. But actually, he was impressive. He wasn't bad. He didn't do anything. He still had his aggressiveness and the kind of like over enthusiastic. I think actually that's the word for him. But he handled himself well. And yeah, I think overall, really, for me, it was just a great win, a very much needed win, because we want to put distance between ourselves and Liverpool and Spurs, I guess, and Brighton and Villa themselves actually, and make sure that we consolidate that top 4, because it'd be very nice to have top 4 sealed and delivered like 2 games before the end of the season, because then we can rest some players, rotation will happen, so that we can focus on beating City in that FA Cup final. Everything now is going to be geared for me towards making sure we win that FA Cup final. Obviously, we need to secure top 4, but if we can do it ASAP, get to that FA Cup final and win it. So that is for us now. We, like I said, we've made my overall takeaways, right? Or maybe 5 things you take away from the game. One, we've really made Old Trafford a fortress this season. Bruno, top notch, absolutely amazing. And like I said, I'm a huge fan, right? Free Lindelof and Shaw, but Lindelof specifically was exceptional today for me. Again, absolutely beastly. Casemiro, 4, is my 4th point. I think I said before that he takes a while to get up to speed after like suspensions and injuries or whatever, or even when he first came into the team, he took a while to get up to speed, and you know we saw that McTominay was starting before him. But it looks like after this game, or within this game, it looks like he's finally getting that rhythm back. So hopefully he doesn't get suspended again before the FA Cup final or anything like that. But let's keep that rhythm going, because he was really good today. He was coming back to his best, you know, intercepting, making some good passes, you know, really controlling, helping to control the midfield, you know, helping to control the game from the midfield. And my fifth point is De Gea, right? And it's not really De Gea, it's the team, but De Gea has now got 15 clean sheets, okay? I think the next closest is 13, which is Newcastle, because they didn't keep a clean sheet today. So if we keep going like this, De Gea is winning that Golden Glove. Golden Glove, we are coming for you, okay? But yeah, those are my 5 main takeaways from this game, you know, and I think we have to be very happy with that win. Let's see, can we go to Brighton, and can we consolidate even more? Can we get that W against Brighton? And you know, I think we've got a game in hand on Newcastle. So if we win our game in hand on Newcastle, we are third, and then we'll be like 10 points away from Liverpool or above Liverpool, depending on how their result against Spurs goes. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Let's see how we can do, as I always say, going forward. Thank you again for watching, as always. Very happy with the win. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. More videos coming, as always, and see you on the next one.